All right. What do we got? What do we got, guys? Tomorrow we got the Seahawks and the Rams in Los Angeles, and maybe more than ever in the Russell Wilson era. I don't know. I don't know what we got. I've said that a few times over the past few years because we played in some tough games. You know, when we played the Eagles last year and the Patriots 2 years ago, and even earlier this year when we played the Rams, I was like, I don't know what we can do. I don't know, but we won some of those games. We played well in all of those games. So, I know the team is good at coming up big when they need it the most, but it's tough to see much of anything this week. So, we got the Rams, one of the best teams in football. They just lost their first game, a tough road game in New Orleans against a really good team. Honestly, they didn't play bad in that game. They just got beat. Their offense looked good. Obviously, their defense got beat a lot, but their defense has been getting beat all season. That's not some big surprise. We all know their defense is not that good right now, but it's not like that game exposed any major flaws in the Rams that we haven't seen through the first 7 games. They just lost. So I can't even take much from that. It just seems like a mismatch. And, this game, it seems like it's very important for our hopes for the playoffs. It seems very important for our ability to call ourselves a decent football team, but I can't even look at it like that, dude. I can't. I can't look at this game in any other way than um let's just get out of there, man. Because I want to say that we can run the ball because we've run the ball well the last several weeks. We've shown the ability to really grind down on teams on the ground. But me saying that is like, okay, Chris Carson didn't practice all week. He's questionable. DJ Fluker didn't practice all week. He's questionable. And I know that without those two guys out there, and if I had to guess, I would say neither of them are going to be out there tomorrow. Can we run the ball? We can do okay. I mean, I like Mike Davis, but he's not anywhere near what Carson is in terms of ability. I like Penny, but he's clearly having some rookie problems. So it's tough for me to get hyped on even that part of our team. And one thing I feel like I really learned last week, one thing I feel like was evident last week when we played the Chargers was when this team can't run the ball, they don't have a backup plan. I mean, if you look at this whole season too, I know we had those first 2 games where we completely abandoned the run, and in the Denver game we actually still scored some points, but it feels like we don't have a backup plan for when the running game isn't putting us in favorable situations. Like last week, okay, the running game starts out really good. We're leaning on it. We're leaning on it. Chris Carson's had a good first drive. Chris Carson's playing good. Mike Davis is playing good. The offensive line is good. And then, well, we get some injuries. Carson goes out. Fluker goes out. And now we can't run the ball very well. Now we're picking up penalties on offense because some of the guys that are in there shouldn't be in there. Holdings, false starts, and we have no means by which we can pick up first and long or second and long or third and long. We just give up. We don't have a plan for when things aren't going right on offense. We don't have the ability to consistently say, okay, we're going to pick up this 2nd and 22. We're going to go make it 3rd and 8, and then we're going to get this first down. It happens sometimes, but it doesn't happen nearly often enough. And all too often, we just give up. Like last week, the thing I can't get out of my head is running the ball up the middle on 2nd and 24. I don't think other teams in the league are doing that. The other teams in the league that do that have rookies at quarterback. They don't have Russell Wilson at quarterback. So that's on the coaches. It's also on the players, too, by the way. I mean, Wilson, we needed him to be a stud last week, and he didn't come close to that. He played a bad game. He played a terrible, terrible game. One of the worst games that I've ever seen him play, honestly. I know he didn't have massive interception numbers. I know the numbers themselves don't look that bad, but that was bad, and we needed him. Last week was a week where we said, okay, the running game's not going to carry us. Something else needs to carry us. And Wilson was just missing throws, missing easy throws. So I can't say that we're going to be able to run the ball all over the Rams tomorrow as much as I would like to be able to say that because of the guys we're missing. I can't say that there are other parts of this team that are going to be able to pick up the slack because they've shown me this year that they're struggling to do that. And our defense, for the last several weeks, I've said, hey, we can stop the run a little bit. We're good against the run. And then last week, the Chargers shut me up. Frickin' Melvin Gordon or Melvin Ingram, whatever the Chargers running back is, ran all over us. Can we stop the pass? We already kind of have our answer on that. We know what the Rams can do against our pass defense. They light it up because we can't get to Goff. We can't get to any team that has a good offensive line. We can't get to their quarterback because Frank Clark by himself is not good enough. And we have a couple other guys who are okay, but they're not getting the job done enough. And that's a bad combination because I like the pieces in our secondary, but hey, maybe I don't even like that. Bradley McDougald, questionable. He barely practiced all week. Shamar Stephen did not practice all week, questionable. KJ Wright missed some practice this week, questionable. So do I even like that? I don't know, guys. Meanwhile, the Rams look pretty much completely healthy. So there's nothing going in our favor right now. So I'm trying to think of how we can win this game tomorrow. I have to believe that it has to be on Russell Wilson to have a monstrous game. One of those 500-yard, 5-touchdown games like he had against Houston last year, or he had against the Vikings 3 years ago, or the Ravens 3 years ago, or the Steelers 3 years ago. We just need scorched earth because I don't believe the running game is going to control this game. I don't believe that our defense has a chance to keep the Rams under like 35 points. The only thing I can see right now is Wilson, Baldwin, Lockett, Ed Dixon. Those guys have to carry us. And if we don't have Fluker out there, that might be preempted just because the offensive line might not be playing to the level that we expect. So let's get it out. Let's get it out, guys. It's a division game. Nobody is expecting much from us. I think we can do some things to keep it interesting, but it's tough to imagine anything great happening. So whatever happens, I'll make a video tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, obviously, if we win, we're right back where we need to be, but it's hard to not sit here and think, well, hope we get the Packers on Thursday because, yeah. All right, see you guys after the game tomorrow. Peace.